Hey, it's the Middling Booktuber Tag. This was created by Adrian over at Strip Cover Lit as part of his Dirty 30 to celebrate his 3,000th subscriber. Well deserved. Congratulations, Adrian. This is basically for booktubers that are in their awkward teen phase. Subscriber counts at around 2,000 to 9,000. So let's just dive right in. Question number 1. What advice would you give to booktubers under 100 subs? Well, first off, congratulations. You've done it. You've taken your seat at the table. You have pulled it all together and decided to put it out there with the conviction that you have something worth saying. And with that comes the realization that no one gives a damn about what you have to say about books. And this can be a little disheartening. That first 100 is really tough. Just get out there. Make comments. Just be cool about it. Do some tags and follow some other people as well. And those views will come. You are here for a reason. You obviously love what it is that you're doing. Just be patient. Those subscribers will come around. Number 2, what advice would you give booktubers around the 1,000 subscriber mark? Congratulations, you made it to 1,000. That's a huge, huge deal. Now, Jennifer over at Insert Literary Pun here talked a little bit about the subscriber grind, about plateauing at that certain number. And regardless of what you do, you can't seem to get past that. And a lot of those booktubers that maybe started at the same time as you have shot well past you in numbers. And it can be a little disheartening. I know what that feels like, but don't let it get to you. The moment you start looking at others for validation through subscriber counts, that is a road to despair and sadness. And next thing you know, you're in a Japanese suicide forest thinking, man, this would be a good idea to film. So don't let it get you down. No one owes you any attention, but you've done it. You put your money where your mouth is. You're putting stuff out there, and that is fantastic. Just keep at it and remember why it is that you did this in the first place and take joy in that. Question 3, what question would you ask a big booktuber? Well, what's next? I mean, booktube is small potatoes, and maybe it is like that cliche that all actors want to direct. I always wonder about booktubers as well. The biggest booktubers out there are small potatoes when it comes to the larger YouTube ecosystem. So what is next? What are they planning to do? How are they going to transition to something else? How are they going to grow that channel if that is in fact something that they want to do? I am always curious how they sort of transition. Number 4, who is one big booktuber that deserves even more subscribers? Chapter Stacks at 36,000 deserves way, way more subscribers than that. Same with Rincey over at Rincey Reads. These are 2 people that got me started in YouTube and are still around. And it just boggles my mind that they don't have 2-3 times the number of subscribers that they do currently. All right, number 5. What do you consider the end game for your channel? What would equal success to you? I want to be the person at Netflix that decides what books get turned into series and movies. I don't even know that role exists, but it should. Maybe even pull together all the different actors, directors, etc. to bring these visions to life. Netflix, if you're listening, give me a shout. I would love to help you out with that. But otherwise, I think in terms of booktube success, that's a little narrow. I don't even know if success even exists on YouTube. I think what's happening here with all the other booktubers, myself included, is we're learning this visual language. And I think that's what's going to be important, whether it happens on YouTube, whether it happens on Twitch and its ability to bring in subscribers and introduce a new model to pay creatives that is way better than this third-party Patreon system that YouTube uses. And then Facebook recently used sort of the esports mentality to show a baseball game, the Toronto Blue Jays playing here in town. And people of my generation and older probably hated it, but the younger generation loved that level of interactivity. And I think that is what we're moving towards. Viewers trusting in individuals and having them curate a lot of the stuff. Here at Booktube, we're curating books for you to read. But I think that can extend well beyond just books to other sorts of media and experiences. And those people that are adept at telling those stories and presenting that to viewers, I think that's the interesting thing about video, personal video. And whether it exists on YouTube or a completely different platform sometime in the future, that is, I think, what success is, to be able to do that full-time, whatever that ends up being. I still think that there's some years of learning that I have to do to get up to speed to that technology. And I think all of us here on Booktube have that ability to transition into something, whatever that next thing is going to be. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but I think about a lot of that. And what we are going to be doing and what this landscape is going to look like in the next 5 years. All right, number 6, what is something you wish you did better? Well, frankly, everything. I mean, I guess it's a wrong time to ask this question. My workflow has changed entirely. I'm using a whole new set of applications to render the audio and the video, doing the post-production. So I need to learn that. Now, these are great, fantastic, and powerful tools, and I'm just barely scratching the surface as far as the technology goes. So it's fun to actually learn that, but I need to get better at that. And I'm trying to get better as far as sticking to a schedule, but it's not exactly easy. And I don't want to take for granted the content that I put out there. So I don't know, it's the whole package. I want to work on all of that, and I want to keep trying new things. It is easy to get stagnant and to stick with a rhythm that works and sort of do this unconsciously. So I want to keep doing this in a conscious way and keep trying to get better at all aspects of this presentation, Booktube. Number 7, what part of your channel makes you proud? Well, I'm just proud that I'm still doing this. Honestly, everyone that does this on Booktube gets to that point where they're like, why am I doing this? There's just way too much real world stuff going on in my life that I can't keep putting out these videos. They get stressed about their number of books that they've read or the type of critical reviews that they're offering up. Maybe they feel that they've got themselves into this loop where they're just doing TBRs and hauls and they're just not happy with their content. And it isn't easy to keep doing that and to keep it interesting for yourself. And I'm glad that I'm still doing this and I still get a lot of enjoyment from this and I still am learning a hell of a lot every time I put one of these videos out. And I do appreciate all of you that are sticking around and watching. I'm proud of all of you, which, oh my God, I'm sorry, that just sounds horrible, but I am. I'm proud of you and I'm really grateful for the conversations that can be had here. And I'm curious how that changes as a channel gets bigger. It was interesting to see the Tournament of Books, to see that back and forth between commenters that was completely irrespective of the actual host of each page. And that the commenters themselves were able to have this great sort of forum-like conversation. And I wish there was more of that on YouTube. YouTube's comments are pretty one-dimensional and flat, where it's the audience with the host. And I wish there could be a lot more interaction between the audience itself. And Twitch does a really good job with that. Discord does a really good job with that. I think there's a marrying of platforms, and I do want to eventually experiment with some of those things. Number 8, if you were going to start a second channel, what would that channel be? I would totally do video games and probably on a different platform like Twitch. My daughter did that for a while, and I love the ecosystem that she created and how powerful that was. It is this live interaction between the presenter and the audience has that ability to communicate with each other as well. And I like that immediacy as far as conversation goes. I've seen a lot of people try this on Instagram Live to some great effect. And I think that's the next stage. You can obviously do this with YouTube. There's a Google Chrome plugin that allows you to do it right from your desktop, nice and simple. And I think I want to start experimenting a little bit with that. But again, it's just as daunting as starting off your Booktube channel. You worry about putting it out there and thinking it's just going to be crickets. And maybe that is exactly what is going to happen. I mean, we talked about on question 1, 100 subscribers, how hard that is, and that no one really cares about what you have to say. You have to just slowly start building that. And I think that's what I'm thinking of, is just pushing this and keeping it interesting for me. This is not just about sharing my love for books, but trying to create communities online and what they looked like. And I think a lot of those communities are built around curators that you trust and are interested in hear what they have to say. And how that gets presented and what that communication looks like is something that I want to start exploring in the next year or so. Number 9, tag some people. Listen, if you are in the 2,000 to 9,000 subscriber range, I want you to do this tag. I'm curious what you have to say as well. But if you want me to make specific names, I would love to have Brown Girl Reading, Love of Ryan, and Just One Reader try this tag out. I'll tag to their channels in the links below. All right, so that's it for this week. This is a bit more of a rambly video this time out. I haven't done a tag in a little while, and this feels a lot more loosey-goosey, but that's okay. I just want to actually get this stuff out of the computer into the new workflow and see how I can fool around with this stuff. I'm just still not super confident in my ability to massage all of these elements together. I'm still really learning these new programs, but it is fun to do. So I talked a lot about in this video the viewer community, you guys, and how you communicate with me, but how you communicate with each other. Are there channels where you find that there's a really good level of interaction, not only between the host and yourself, but between other commenters? Do you find other systems, whether it's Tumblr, Facebook, Discord, Twitch? What other platforms are you on that create that level of community, not just between the presenter and the audience, but amongst the audience itself? I'd love to hear about your experiences with that. Maybe it is only in old school forums, but I am curious. I'm hoping that you can enlighten me a little bit, because I think that's a really powerful piece that YouTube doesn't do very well. Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you all have a great week of reading, and we will talk to you hopefully soon.